Welcome to Computer Programming 4. My after school hours are Monday and Tuesday until 4 p.m. and that's by appointment. There will be a form in your Google Classroom for you guys to submit if you need some specific instruction or you need additional time to work. Okay, so our goals for Computer Programming 4, this is a year-long class. You guys are going to be working in Java, but this time we are doing one major project that is broken up into many different sprints and milestones. We're going to be learning how to use an entity component system, how to use an actual physics engine. You guys are going to design game maps and characters and items and sound effects and music and all the interactions actually in making a game. You guys are going to be making an Android game. Okay? It's going to be a lot of fun, but there are a lot of moving pieces. My expectations are the same, the 5 B's: be prepared, be on time, be respectful, be accountable, be consistent, and of course follow all of Licking Heights High School policies and procedures. Failure to follow expectations is warning and documentation, then parental contact and a detention, and an administrative referral. Required supplies that you have to have in this class. Most of the work must be done in class. However, for you guys, I am providing the installation videos for you guys to be able to install all of this stuff. All of the stuff to create these games is free software. It doesn't cost you a penny. Okay? You guys will be doing screencasting, though, showing off demonstrations of your code and your builds and showing your code base of how you are able to do it. Okay? So a required item for this class is a headphones with mic. They can be purchased from me for $2. If you don't have them, I will store them in a classroom in a Ziploc bag with your name in it, and they'll be for your use only. If you have iPhone mic headphones and you need an adapter, I do have a few of those. You can purchase those from me for $6. I purchased the headphones and the adapters from Amazon in bulk. So I make no guarantees on their operability, but they're there for you if you need them. Any additional supplies I will provide to you. My grading has changed a little bit. 40% of the grade is projects, 20% of the grade is professionalism, 20% of the grade is quizzes, and 20% of the grade is your effort and time management. Projects will be broken down into your milestones. For you guys, you will have your project grades will be each of your milestones that you guys are supposed to be doing for your sprints. Your professionalism, again, that's the same as an employee working at a company. You need to be on time, which means you need to be sitting in your seat, logging in the computer when the bell rings. If you're walking in the door, when the bell rings, you are late. If you're standing in the class, when the bell rings, you are late. Quizzes. I will be quizzing you guys on the code base that I am teaching you to make sure that you guys are learning the material. You're not just waiting for someone else to do it for you. Effort and time management. We will start using project management type software called Trello, which you will use to estimate the amount of man hours that you have to do for a project and how much time you actually spend on it. Okay, so this is an example of a Trello board. We can create a board that has any number of lists that we want. So it could be a backlog of stuff that we have to do, things that we're planning on doing, stuff that we're working on right now, stuff that we have finished or we're testing, stuff that needs to be reviewed. We're going to use Agile Scrum types methodology to get our projects done and delivered the alpha, beta, and gold builds for our projects by the end of the year. Okay? An example of a card, this is really just a card. I can provide a description in there. I can add comments for the card as I'm doing stuff, as I finish things. If I have issues, I can attach YouTube links for my screencasts. I can attach other cards that I can use if they are somewhat related. I can create checklists of items that I can check off as I'm accomplishing it. I can create linked cards that are used that I could check off those items. And those linked cards could be individual cards themselves or an individual board. I can track my time using these cards on which feature I'm currently working on for my milestones, so I can have accurate reporting. Okay. I am looking at that, your ability to manage your project and the time that you're putting into it. And that's going to be 20% of your grade. Entering the classroom, I have the same procedure. You enter quietly, you sit in your seat, you log into Google Classroom, you get started on your Do Now activity, which for the most part for you guys, once we get Trello up and running, is going to be going into Trello, finding what you still have left to do for that sprint, and finishing it off. Okay. Passes, you get 3 passes per quarter, but not within the first or last 10 minutes of class. Any unused ones, I give you 5 bonus points for each unused pass that goes in professionalism. I don't allow passes for interrupting in class for any reason. I am not a fan of malingering, so if you are leaving the class to go to the bathroom for more than 5 minutes, I'm probably going to take away your pass privileges for the remainder of the quarter. I'm expecting you guys to use your time wisely in class. Food and drink, food, gum, or candy, it's not allowed near my computers, period. Food and drink, you can bring it in the class. It needs to be sitting on the desk next to the door for the remainder of the class. If you need to get a drink, you can get up, you can go get your drink, leave it at that desk, and come back and sit down at your workstation. Food is not to be consumed during class time at all. But if you need to bring it in, you can set it on the desk. Cell phones and headphones. Again, I allow technology as a tool, not a crutch. So cell phones cannot be used for texting, making phone calls, going to social media sites, making purchases, doing any of that stuff. You can't use it to plug into computers unless I've given you permission. You guys are going to end up having special permission after we do some turn on the USB debugging for you guys to be able to test your builds on the computers. However, your cell phones are not to be plugged in just to charge your phone. I have a charging station at the back of the classroom. That's a first come, first serve that you guys can plug in your cell phones there. However, they need to be there for the remainder of class. Cell phones may be used to solve a problem, like you don't have the iPhone headphone adapter, but you need to watch some of the class materials. You can use headphones when I direct it. You can use music when I direct it. But your music should not distract others, and it should not be heard. YouTube is not a music resource. Okay? If you guys want to use Pandora, that's fine. If I've said that you guys can listen to music, you guys can use Pandora. You guys can listen to music on your phone. As long as you're working, it is not an issue. If you stop working, you start dancing to music, that's going to be a privilege that you lose. Class is a no whining zone. Tardies, whether you're excused or not, come in quietly, don't disturb the class. Either hand the pass to me or place it on my desk, log into Google and get started on what you need to do for the day. If I need to get your attention, I'm going to clap twice. Once you hear my clap, stop what you're doing, face me, and I'm going to put something important out. If you need to get my attention, use the yellow flag, continue working. The yellow flag is not an excuse for you guys to goof off or to start distracting others. Okay? Now, if you're using the yellow flag, I'm expecting that first you have sufficiently tried researching your problem and how to fix it to see if someone else has already arrived at the solution before you have. So use the technology as a tool. Do some searches on YouTube. Do some searches in Google. Try to find out the answer. If that does not work, try to ask the people around you, your neighbors. If that does not work and you were not able to find a solution, then use your yellow flag. If I find out that you have put up your yellow flag and you're just waiting for me to give you the answer and you have not done option 1 and option 2, I will walk away. I'm expecting that you guys are working at trying to find your answers, because in a blended, flipped, hybrid type class, a project-based class, you learn better when you guys are working at trying to solve your problems. When you have to struggle a little bit, you retain the information far longer than if I just gave you it. Okay? If you need my help while we're doing some type of instruction and I'm standing up in front of the class, just raise your hand. I'll call you when I'm finished. Moving around during class, I'm expected you to be seated on task unless I give you permission to be moving around the class. At the end of the period, I'll direct you when it's time to clean up. Then you will log off your systems. You'll pack up your belongings only when directed to do so. You will wait by your seats until I dismiss you with the "have a nice day." Homework. Most of the work needs to be done in class due to software requirements. I am providing installation videos for all the software that we are using. So if you have a computer at home, you guys could be able to install this stuff, and we're going to be using source control so you guys can load your code up and be able to pull it down at home and work on it from home. Okay. However, I'm expecting that most research and reviewing of the material, stuff that we've already went over, is done outside of class. You guys should be dedicating at least 5 to 10 to 15 hours outside of class to make sure that you guys are going to hit your sprint deadlines. Okay. Late work. If you guys are turning in a sprint to me late, I'm going to take 20% off the first day it's late, and I'm only going to accept it 2 days after the due date. Okay? It's in your best interest to turn it in before it is late. After those 2 days, I will not accept it. It will be a 0 in your grade. Project grades are pretty heavy grades. Okay? If you have a 504 that is giving you additional time because I put in additional time into your projects, you guys will only get an additional week. Okay. Trello project tracking, the time tracking that you guys are doing in Trello, that is a daily occurrence. Okay. You cannot go to the end of your project and start giving your time spent for your entire sprint on the last few days. If you do that, I will severely grade you down on effort and time management. Tardy policy is the same. First tardy is a warning. Second tardy is a 30-minute detention served after school on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Third tardy is 2 30-minute detention served after school Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. I'm not doing Wednesday mornings. Parents are notified, and I take 20 points from your professionalism grade. Fourth tardy, I will also take 20 points deducted from your professionalism grade for any tardies after that, and I'm going to refer you to administration. If you have an absence, okay, if it's excused, you get an extension. So your sprint deadline, you would get an extension of those days, okay, and still be able to receive full credit. However, if you turn in your stuff to me late, past that extension, it's a 0. Okay? If you have an unexcused absence and you needed to turn in your sprint to me, that is a 0. It is your responsibility to keep on task with the stuff that you need to do for each individual sprint and make sure that you're hitting those deadlines. I am not going to be walking behind you, making sure that you are doing your work and you're staying on task. Okay. The classroom culture that we have, as always, needs to be a positive classroom culture. I want you guys to work together. I want you guys to try to help each other out, because that's how you learn best. When you are able to teach the material to someone else, you retain it far longer than if I just teach it. Okay. But I don't want you to write the code for someone else. I want them to be able to understand what they're doing. That's why you guys are going to have bi-weekly quizzes, okay, on the code base that I have given you guys, to make sure that each individual person is learning the material, making sure that they are responsible for the material that they need to know, okay? This is going to be a really awesome class. I'm excited to see what you guys are doing for your games. It's going to be really cool, but it's going to take a lot of work from you guys, and I'm looking forward to it.